Hi, welcome to Polyphonic Press. I'm Jeremy Boyd.
I'm John Van Dyke.
And today we're going to be talking about whether it's better to be an independent artist or to be on a major label. Here we go. Alright, so I think we've done videos similar to this in the past, but there's sort of some new numbers breaking down whether or not it's actually beneficial to be on a major label or to have the artistic freedom on an independent label, or just to be an independent artist in general. Do it yourself. Yep. And so what we found was it's actually there's benefits and there's obstacles to both sides of the argument. One thing I did notice is the expenses breakdown, that it's for a tour is really expensive.
Yes, it's really expensive.
Not that expensive for a major label or for a big company, but it's really expensive if you're trying to do this on your own.
If you've got deep pockets, things that are expensive aren't as expensive, which is like a no-brainer. But
yeah, exactly. So I don't know. I'm still torn on whether it's better to be an indie artist or to be on a major label. As far as handling business goes,
I could see. Okay, like I was saying before we started the video, if I was a musician going on tour and stuff like that, I really have a hard time seeing myself to being like overly independent. I love the idea behind it. I love the idea of having the freedom, not having to worry too much about someone breathing down your neck telling you, oh, you can't do that because you'll never sell another record again.
Right.
But but at the same time, I hate finances and stuff like that. I can't. If I touch the stuff like that, I'm as good as dead. Yeah. But
for any artist, it's hard to, anyone who has an artistic mind, it's hard to wrap their head around the business side of things. Yeah. And actually, that's what...
just ask the Beatles before Paul McCartney learned what to do. Yeah. Yeah.
Ask any artist, any artist who's signed a bad deal. They know what what record companies will actually do is they'll actually have like a 10-page contract full of legal jargon that really it would take 1 or 2 pages to say. And the reason they do that is because the artist, if they understand what's being said, they'll an artistic mind, even if they do understand what's being said, they will give up because it's so dry and boring and monotonous and repetitive that they'll just say, okay, fuck it, I'll just sign the deal. Yeah. The record companies actually do that on purpose, and that's actually something that in college I was told that record companies actually do. By my MIDI teacher. We had a MIDI class, and he's a really cool guy, and he said whenever I'm working with someone for a contract, I need them to sign a contract, I'll write up like a 1 or 2 page agreement saying in plain English, this is exactly what I need you to do for how long. And it's legally binding still. The history of rock and roll was written on. Yeah, well, I mean, look at how screwed over all the Bo Diddley, all the artists of the 50s, all those weird tours that they had to go on and stuff. So sometimes the record companies will try to. I mean, there are good record companies out there that will work with artists, and some of them are major labels or subsidiaries of major labels. Yeah. But a lot of the time, it's still a business, and it's still their end goal is to make money. I think if you can do both the artistic and the creative part and make money and handle the business, I think that's great. Most people can only do one or the other, and so that's always been the struggle, the thorn in the side of the music industry is the ever constant struggle between business and art. Yeah. And it's like that in film and all the artistic ventures, but it seems to be most present in the music world. Yeah. Well, it's not. Okay, well, back to the thing about the indie labels. They're not entirely off the hook either.
because
No.
they still need to find an investor.
Yeah,
If they're
exactly.
at a certain level, they have to find someone who's willing to put in the time for their, for the recording
Yeah.
and any other expenses they have, and they have to pay them back.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly.
you know,
So, like, making music is an expensive... If you want to do it right, it's an expensive thing. With technology, you can make music in your bedroom. It's probably not going to be releasable. You should hire an engineer.
You should hire, but I have
if
heard
you
people
know what
who are
you're doing. If you
competent
know
enough,
what
yeah.
you're doing, yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is an expensive thing for studio time and mixing and getting a producer and an engineer and all that.
And if you want analog sound,
yeah,
you gotta buy the tape, which is
expensive.
We've already discussed
beyond
this,
belief.
but yeah.
So there are a lot of factors that people say, I want to hold on to my principles and be an independent artist. That's noble, but you have to understand the business side of it if you're going to go down that road as well. So so something to think about. Let us know in the comments what you guys think. Have you sort of thought about this? Are you an independent artist, or are you trying to get onto a major label? It's really
Do you know an independent artist?
Do you know any independent artists? It's actually harder. It's actually really hard to get on a major label. It's harder. It's easier to be an independent artist than it is to get on a major label. But
it doesn't make it easier to be an independent artist that's actually successful.
Exactly. So yeah, anyway, let us know in the comments down below. Be sure to subscribe so you know when we post new videos. You can check us out on Twitter and Facebook. Follow John on Twitter at FunkyDutch. You can check out the website polyphonicpress.net. All those links are in the description. And you can check out some other videos on the right here. And that's about it. I'm Jeremy Boyd.
I'm John Van Dyke.
Take it easy.